constitutional to the narcotic policy. So one of the mother of boy who are been curing, this is called cerebral palsy. Maybe some of you didn't know. It's like a disease. It's occurs to the nervous system. Yeah. So it's they already been have that kind of disease for 16 years, but they have been using the marijuana as the drugs in the Australia for years, and then when they come to Indonesia, the government or the BNN, as you know, didn't allow to use the marijuana to be a medication for him. So literally his mom starting to against the government and make some declaration how to legalize marijuana for his young boy. But according to the change of the constitution, her son already died, like because like because hypoxia, it's like decreasing level of oxygen in his body. So, but she still want to legalize the marijuana in Indonesia. This is also some of the other news from Thailand, which is Thailand have been already legalized the marijuana for medical. We should maybe see Thailand and Malaysia also. And then next. This is, I got like, because there's not a lot of resource with English, maybe I also have some Indonesian news, which is, this one is very popular, like the one that in the videos told before, someone named Fidelis. They've been in the prison because they grow marijuana for his wife, yeah, his wife, because his wife also occurs a disease. It's have related to nervous system. So because his wife is not able to do the operation, so he's do the alternative way, which is he used the marijuana for several months to cure the disease. And then after the government knowing about it, he have a jail time about 8 months. Yeah. This is also very interesting. DPR sebut legalisasi ganja untuk kebutuhan medis perlu penelitian, but other news say gimana ganja mau dipakai medis, diteliti aja nggak boleh. Okay, our Indonesia quite complicated about marijuana. Like some people say want to legalize and some people not. Okay, maybe that's enough for the opening. Maybe we will start to choose which one is affirmative and which one is the negative. Yeah. Okay. Let me know all the participants. Oh, also one of my friend from Kaciden Pasar has just joined us. Her name is Ulan. Hello, Mbak Ulan. Okay. I will ask maybe Saldi first. Are you in a positive side or in negative side?
Yeah, actually, I'm in the positive side. I wish it would be legal. So instead of taking cigarette, I will do ganja. That's why I wish it's legal in Indonesia. But I have my insight first for this meeting. Say that actually they've done several times to make judicial review about Undang-Undang Nomor 35 Tahun 2009 tentang narkotika. It says a lot that ganja, like Mbak Julie said, that it need more researches to make sure that there is benefit for ganja as the medical consumption. But there is also difficult to get the what you call license to make the research. So it will be long journey before ganja it's actually uh, being legalized. But in my opinion, I think that uh, based on what I have know about ganja, they have less destruction than what cigarettes did to the human body. I mean, okay, you will fly after you use ganja, but there is no long-term destruction for this the using of this ganja instead of cigarette. You see the label in every uh, box of the cigarettes. They warn you many kinds of penyakit disease that you will have if you take the cigarettes. Also, if why ganja is illegal and the alcohol is legal, why? Because they both make people fly, like you said, make people think not clear that, and also alcohol at the same time they corrupt your brain, uh, as I read. So I think that my opinion from what I have read and I have here about ganja. So I wish in the future we will enjoy ganja freely without any pidana that hunting us. Thank you, Julie.
Okay, thank you, Saldi. Such a very thoughtful. Yeah. It's a new insight for us. And if there's any of you are in negative side, probably wants to reply about Saldi opinion about the differences from the tobacco and marijuana. Can you please open your mic and tell us about your opinion? Any of you guys in the negative side? Maybe Aditya, you want to give your opinion?
Hello, I'm also agree with Saldi opinion.
Oh, okay, so you're in everybody.
Yes. I'm also wear the clothes that's THC, tetrahydrocannabinol.
Okay.
This is the activity compound from ganja. It's a coincidence because because THC is my futsal club in pharmacy UGM. So this is
It's
the
nice. Futsal club.
so
Wow.
nice name, yeah.
Nice name. Yeah.
I also agree with the opinion because the THC is very useful in medical treatment. So if we can narrow it to the benefit and the harm, yeah, the loss, maybe the government can use. Not, we must not have to penelitian lupa. Research in our research, but we can citation from other research in other countries. So maybe the government can faster, mempercepat apa? Mempercepat.
Yeah, rapidly. Yeah.
Rapidly make the regulation, because if we in the position to need the marijuana for our treatment, it's very menyedihkan lah gitu. If
pathetic, yeah, it's very pathetic.
If yes, in the mother's position from the first page of presentation. So
Yeah, I
I agree with Saldi and the apa mendukung
support.
support the campaign and
Okay.
also sign the petition.
Okay, it's a very nice opinion from Aditya. Thank you very much. Before we jump to another members to give the opinion, probably I can share because maybe any of you didn't know about THC that I did have shown before. Yeah, I will share the video to explain about that. Wait a second.
Since cannabis was legalized in Canada for both recreational and medicinal purposes, you might be wondering if cannabis could help the person you're caring for. In addition to recreational use, cannabis, also known as marijuana, is being used by many Canadians to help improve symptoms of their medical conditions. More people, including those over 65 years of age, are using cannabis every day. And many are finding that cannabis gives them relief from common problems like pain or trouble sleeping. But it's not for everyone. In this video, we'll review what cannabis is, how it can help, what the risks are, and what steps to take if you think it'll help someone you're caring for. Medicinal cannabis is a plant that's grown in licensed greenhouses all over Canada, just like other crops such as tomatoes. When the female plant matures, it has a flower that contains two main active medications. They're called THC and CBD. These flowers are used to make cannabis oil or dried. Each different cannabis strain has a different amount of THC and CBD medications, and they have some different effects on the body. THC is the part of cannabis that gives you the high sensation and can help with nausea and sleep problems. And CBD is the part of cannabis that helps for more medicinal purposes, like anxiety or seizures. They both can help relieve pain. For some, cannabis is still considered a recreational drug. Many people still feel that using cannabis is bad, that it can be a gateway drug or become an addiction. Cannabis addiction can happen, but it is less habit-forming than alcohol, opioids, and nicotine. Usually, addiction isn't a problem for people using it for medical conditions. If you think it could help the person you're caring for, start by asking if they're interested in learning more. It's important to be aware that some websites on the internet will say that cannabis can be used to cure almost any condition. And the truth is, we don't know yet what its potential is. Right now, medicinal cannabis is only used to help with symptoms like pain or nausea. It's also most often used after other treatments and medications have been tried and don't provide enough relief. This doesn't mean that it's for everyone. Some people have found that it doesn't give them relief at all, or it causes too many side effects, like drowsiness, dizziness, red eyes, low blood pressure, change in heart rate, confusion, and feeling drunk. So how do you know if cannabis is right for the person you're caring for? First, it's good to remember that like every other medication, there are certain people that shouldn't use cannabis. If the person you're caring for has a serious mental health, heart, or lung condition, they probably should not take cannabis. If they have or have had a problem with alcohol or drugs like opioids, they should also probably avoid it. Cannabis can also cause problems with other medication, so the most important thing to do is talk to their doctor, nurse practitioner, or pharmacist before they start taking cannabis. They can make sure it's safe for the person you're caring for to use. The good news is more and more cannabis research is being done every day around the world. This will help us learn who can do the best with medical cannabis and who should avoid it. As of now, cannabis researchers have found that it may help with pain, sleep, nausea, muscle spasms, and increasing appetite. Once a doctor or nurse practitioner thinks that cannabis is right for the person you're caring for, The next step is getting the cannabis. There are several ways that you can purchase it. The first and preferred way is by talking to your doctor or nurse practitioner.
Okay, I think that's enough to share about the cannabis in medical use. Yeah, I think all the video have almost show about the positive side. Yeah, so I wanted to hear if any of you have a negative side about this cannabis or marijuana as a medical use or recreational use. Please don't hesitate to give the comment. Probably from Yovita, do you want to speak?
I don't know, maybe I have two opinions. Like, I can be a positive side or negative side because, as you explained before, like it has so many function to medical health, like for penyakit kronis, like heavy disease. So I think maybe I can go positive side also, because it's just a plan, right? It's not made from something, like it's just a plan, like tomatoes or something, and we can use it for like a medical health. And if talking about addiction, it's not only cannabis or like marijuana can addict someone. Food also can be like example for me. I addict to donut, or I addict to coffee, something like that. So I think it's really positive to Indonesia, like to legalize this marijuana, because it has so many functions. Thank you. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Yovita. So you are in the middle of it, yeah. You 50-50. It's not really want to legalize. Sometimes you want you want marijuana still illegal.
Yeah, I think it depends on who will use it. Maybe if Indonesia legalize this marijuana, like Indonesia can mengkelompokkan someone who can use it. Like children cannot be use it this one, because like I read some articles that say it has addiction, like not addiction, like it has resiko to kecelakaan gitu ya, like something like that. And yeah, maybe that's it. Thank you.
Okay, so you have also a negative side, which is just saying that will increasing the number of traffic accident. Yeah, that's the point that I got. Okay, this is the point about the controversial that I got from the internet. Yeah, so this one is on medical use. This on the right side, which is saying that it's a harmful drug substance. It's increasing brain hyperactivity, decrease brain performance for a prolonged use, and then it kinds of addiction for you who are using it for a long time. It's also saying for recreational use, it's an addictive nature, it's an altered perception, and then it can evac to the brain health, lung health, heart health, and also the end of mental health, also mental illness. They can make it mental illness, according to the drugrehab.us. And also this one is I'm got the pros from what I've been read. It's quite interesting before when Yovita said that it's not for the children, but I've read some articles saying this is a very good treatment for treat the epileptic seizure. Yeah, so mostly the epileptic seizure have been who are have disease of epileptic, mostly children, and they do use the marijuana to treat the disease. This is also have a positive on treat anxiety, They said it's PTSD and also relieve the chronic pain. And this is maybe some of the medical words, yeah. This is treatment for eyes dysfunction and reducing inflammations, and also helping the brain to cope after the event. It's for the stroke. And I read it also can make more appetite for the cancer patients suffer. Yeah. Maybe some of the patients have been using other anti-nausea drugs for their treatment after the chemotherapy, but using the marijuana, it's more making them more appetite, want to eat, which is the most important thing for the patients. All right. And this is also the pros for recreational use. It's all, of course, it's a tax revenue. Like in the US, they say it's tax revenue, and then boost the economy, and then create job opportunities, wider access for medical use, and more effective law. Okay, maybe I will jump to the next participant who want to give the opinion about marijuana. Who the next? Kak Kendo, maybe you want to speak?
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Miss,
hold on. As you know, Kak Kendo is one of the doctor in here. Maybe he can give another insight for us about the medical use for marijuana. Please, Kak Kendo.
Thank you, Miss Julie. In my opinion, I agree. If marijuana as a chemical, not used as a plant. Yeah, I agree. If marijuana consumed as not as a plant, because if we talk about plant or herbal medicine, herbal medicine, maybe as a maybe Aditya Farmana, which is who has a pharmacy background, known in the herbal medicine. There's a lot of chemical, not only one or two. Like if we make an example, like kunyit. As a kunyit, there's a lot of chemical inside the kunyit, like curcumin, like alkaloid. There's a lot of chemical, which is it's not really safety for if we use as it is as a plant. But I suggest, like maybe government should do the research, because like I can take a example like opium. Opium. There's opium. We can we can extract the chemical from opium. There's become a cold medicine, like a codeine. The codeine is it's one of cold medicine. It's already we can use codeine from daily symptom of cold. But as a plant, I don't really agree with marijuana. Maybe there's a lot of chemical we don't know. Then I think that's a government take note, take a note. A lot of negative side effect from that marijuana if we use it as a plant. Maybe, that's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kendo. So you are in the mostly negative side of it, yeah?
Yeah, as a plant. As
a plant, yeah. Okay, Sada, very blown my mind about to learn about medical and pharmacies. Thank you, Mr. Kendo. Oh, so we are having newcomers, Minda. Hello, Minda. Can you hear me? Minda
Hello.
Kakimi. Hello,
Yes.
welcome to the club.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, hopefully you join the club. And if you have any opinion, just open your mic or you can raise your hand also, okay?
Okay.
Okay, next we jump to maybe Nancy. Do you want to give a comment? I think you are in the affirmative side.
Yeah, I'm actually on the affirmative side because of Fidelis case that I PM'd you about 2 days ago. Yeah, I'm quite disappointed on how Indonesia's tried to enforce the law and jurisdiction on Fidelis case, because we know that he has come from a family that is not wealth enough. So his wife is undergoing a chronic disease, and I'm sorry, but I felt that medics has already surrendered on his wife's condition. So to alleviate the chronic pain of his wife, he tried to a more economical way to get this pain relief substance that is growing the cannabis sativa plant. But but I also agree from Mr. Kokendo perspective that actually we really can't call marijuana as a medicine. It's still a plant-based. If we want to use it, we have to smoke it, and there is still no legitimate medicine in the world that is used by smoking. So to gain the benefit of marijuana, I really encourage the use of the non-smoke forms of THC, that have already proven therapeutic value. So there is no legitimate need for marijuana as medicine. But back to Fidelis' case, he didn't have any other option because of her economic condition, and these THC pills is still not available to purchase in Indonesia. So he didn't have any other option. It's really working for me when I first hear about Fidelis case, and really disappointed in that. So if I were put in Fidelis situation, I'll do the same as what he did. So if we back to the topic, should we legalize the medical marijuana? If it is still in the plant-based, I would say no, but we have to see back to the situation of the patients. If he comes from a low economic family, stronger opiates is more expensive to be prescribed. So I think the plant-based, the herbaceous plant like this could be used. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nancy. One of the profound thought from the pharmacist also, very mindful. Okay. Before we continue, yes, Aldi.
Yeah. May I add some point?
Okay, please.
Okay. Thank you. So, Mr.
Kokendo.
Yeah, just call me Kendo.
It's already opened my mind that it's actually different when you try to legalize ganja as the plants instead of ganja as the chemical, after separating the bad part and the good part. So it should be good for. But I have the cases like Nancy said. I will read some part of the case. Jadi pernah there were uji judicial review about this undang-undang. So there is a case that the patient has cerebral palsy, and cerebral palsy. So ada 3 orang pemohon perseorangan yang merupakan para ibu dari anak yang menderita cerebral palsy. Kemudian pada saat itu terungkap bahwa dia pernah memberikan terapi minyak ganja, cannabis oil, kepada anaknya yang menderita cerebral palsy selama semasa di Victoria, Australia tahun 2016. Akan tetapi kesekembalinya di Indonesia dia dilarang sehingga fatal buat anaknya. Begitupun dengan 2 ibu lainnya yang menjadi pemohon perkara ini. Adanya larangan tersebut telah jelas menghalangi pemohon 1 untuk mendapatkan pengobatan yang dapat meningkatkan kualitas kesehatan dan kualitas hidup anak pemohon. So, if we back to the Undang-Undang Narkotika nomor 9 tahun 2020, pasal 6 ayat 1 menyebutkan bahwa narkotika yang dilarang itu golongan 1, 2, 3. Golongan 1 bahkan untuk pengobatan pun dilarang. Dan ada 65 jenis narkotika. Wow, I just find out that there are so many kind of narkotika and psychotropika that that illegalize it by this undang-undang. So I don't know how to read this, but I do know that there is a certain amount of this undang-undang that say that setiap orang yang tanpa hak melawan hukum menanam, memelihara, memiliki, menyimpan, menguasai narkotika golongan 1 akan dipenjara paling singkat 4 tahun dan paling lama 12 tahun. So whenever they found narkotika golongan 1, there is a certain amount that we will put in jail in 4 years. So berbeda dengan kasus pembunuhan, berbeda dengan kasus pembunuhan dan kasus-kasus lain yang tidak ada batas minimal hukumannya. So in narkotika there is minimum stelsel. We call it minimum stelsel. So apalagi kalau dia memiliki tanaman tersebut atau bahan narkotika tersebut lebih dari 1 kilogram atau lebih dari 5 batang pohon. So Anda akan dipidana minimal 5 tahun dan paling lama 20 tahun atau penjara seumur hidup. So it's clearly that this country hates narkotika so much, but I wish we can find out that how the country insists to not legalize this, but by giving so many pidana. I just realized that there is so many. There is too hard. I mean, what you called ancaman pidananya terlalu berat begitu untuk hanya sekedar mengkonsumsi ganja apalagi dalam sisi pengobatan. So that's my call today.
Okay, Zaldi, thank you very much. I think Zaldi has been explaining about the law in narkotika. Yeah, it's quite deep and thoughtful. Maybe if any of you want to give an opinion or give a Zaldi explanation, please can you open the mic and speak up? Who else? Mr. Kendo, you want to speak up? Do you want to give any opinion?
Yeah, about the law. There's Maya about the law. So maybe I cannot talk about law because I don't have knowledge about that. But I want to tell that in Indonesia there's maybe a lot of wrong perception about psychotropika and narkotika because there's a bad, it's a matter of perception and habit and knowledge maybe. Sorry to say, in Indonesia, a lot of people who use wrongly narcotic and psychotropic, it's low education. I'm sorry to say, education, not of education formally, but education about perception about useful of narcotic and psychotropic. That's why we need a law. We need law to regulate the about psychotropic and narcotic. If we can make a good perception about narcotic, good knowledge, pengetahuan yang knowledge about the same knowledge for everybody and same perception. There's only there's a restriction for the use. There's maybe we can maybe government agree to openly regulate openly to use the narcotic and psychotropic, especially marijuana. We need proper education and proper we call socialization in English.
Yeah, less information maybe.
Yeah.
So since we are young and we are when we are child, we always see on TV when they say marijuana is the negative. It's never, we never see they show that marijuana is one of the have a positive side as the medications. We all know that because we read, right? But the public didn't show it. It's just the matter of Indonesia, like they brainwash us. All of the drugs and narcotic is a bad for us. I think that's Indonesian and common. Yeah. So okay, thank you, Mr. Kendall, for the comment. Probably we jump to the next video. I will share maybe the last video. Hold on. Okay, this one is an argument about anti-legal.
All around the world, marijuana is being decriminalized or even made legal. But is this really a good idea? In the online debate, the harmful sides are often downplayed. So let's look at the three most powerful arguments against legalizing marijuana. Argument number one. In the last few decades, marijuana has been engineered to become much more potent. Today, marijuana is so potent that it's actually a strong drug that may cause psychosis. The main active ingredient of marijuana is THC, and there's strong evidence that THC is related to psychosis regardless of other risk factors. Marijuana also contains a substance called CBD that seems to counteract this effect. It's even being tested as a treatment against psychosis and anxiety. But because it doesn't make you high, growers have gradually decreased the amount of CBD in marijuana over the last few decades while increasing THC levels. Sample testing showed that THC levels have risen from around 4% in the 1990s to nearly 12% in 2014, shifting the ratio of THC to CBD from 1 to 14 in 1995 to about 1 to 80 in 2014. It's unclear how precise those tests were, however. Overall, recent findings suggest that the more marijuana you consume and the stronger it is, the higher your risk of developing psychosis. But how high is the risk of psychosis for the general population? A study from Britain found that while marijuana use has risen significantly between 1996 and 2005, the number of schizophrenia cases, a type of psychosis, remained stable. The risk of marijuana-induced psychosis remains the highest for people who already have a high risk of psychosis to begin with. For them, it seems more likely that marijuana speeds up the development of their condition rather than causing it, as far as we know right now. So the reasoning goes, if fewer people have access to marijuana, the lower the risk of marijuana-induced psychosis. But actually, you could argue that precisely because marijuana is illegal, more people will end up with psychosis. Prohibition makes illegal drugs stronger and more potent because this way you can ship more product in a smaller space and sell it at a greater profit. This is what happened during the prohibition of alcohol in the US, where hard liquor became the norm. And the same is happening with marijuana now. Imagine a world where liquor is the only alcohol available. You have the choice of either not drinking at all or getting much drunker than you would like to. This is the situation for many marijuana smokers today. People didn't stop drinking during Prohibition, and the numbers show that laws don't deter people from using marijuana. We can't make marijuana go away, but we can make it safer. If marijuana were legal, there would be more options for consumers, and regulators could, for example, insist on a high level of CBD. Just like most people don't drink an after-work bottle of vodka, many people would gladly consume the after-work beer version of marijuana. Argument 2. Marijuana is a gateway drug. If it's legalized, there will be a spike in the use of much more dangerous drugs. A 2015 study found that about 45% of lifelong marijuana users took some other illegal drug at some point. Legalizing marijuana could reinforce this trend. As more young people try legal marijuana, they might end up trying harder drugs. But it turns out that the real gateway to drug use comes much earlier: cigarettes. One study showed that teens who started smoking before the age of 15 were 80% more likely to use illegal drugs than those who didn't. And a 2007 study found that teenagers between 12 and 17 who smoked were 3 times more likely to binge drink, 7 times more likely to have used drugs like heroin or cocaine, and were also 7 times more likely to resort to marijuana. But if that's the case, how could making more drugs legal stop the use of hard drugs? At first, it's important to acknowledge that people don't use drugs because they're legal or not. If you want to buy any drug, you'll always find someone happy to sell. The real question is, why do people develop an unhealthy relationship with drugs at all? Studies show that certain conditions make people especially vulnerable to drugs and addiction. A difficult childhood, early trauma, low social status, depression, even genetic factors. Which drug they get addicted to is more often than not a matter of chance. Addicts take drugs to escape their problems, but drugs don't solve any of those problems and instead become a new problem. But punishing people for their unhealthy coping mechanisms doesn't change anything about the underlying causes either. So some argue we need to take a completely different route. In 2001, Portugal had one of the worst drug problems in Europe, so it was desperate enough to try something radical. Possession and use of all illegal drugs was decriminalized. You would no longer be arrested. Instead, authorities launched a major health campaign. People who were found with a small amount were referred to support services and got help with treatment and harm reduction. Drug use was seen as a chronic disease, not a crime. The results were stunning. The number of people who tried drugs and kept using them fell from 44% to 28% by 2012. The use of hard drugs decreased, as well as HIV and hepatitis infections and overdoses. Making drugs legal might overall help society much more than it harms it. Argument number 3. Marijuana is addictive and unhealthy. It needs to remain illegal to keep harm at a minimum. While marijuana addiction is more psychological than physical, it is still a real problem. The demand for treatment for marijuana addiction has more than doubled in the past decade alone. In total, about 10% of people who try marijuana will become addicted. This is also related to higher THC levels. A study released in 2017 tracked the potency of marijuana in Dutch coffee shops over a period of 16 years. For every 1% increase in THC, 60 more people entered treatment nationwide. In terms of negative health effects, some studies linked marijuana use to increased blood pressure and lung problems, while a 2016 study found that marijuana use was unrelated to physical health problems except for a higher risk of gum disease. Some studies showed that marijuana use alters teenagers' brains and decreases their intelligence, but when more recent studies took drinking and smoking into account, the results were inconclusive. Overall, research shows that taking any drugs while the brain is still in development is bad for you. But the truth is, we don't know yet how unhealthy marijuana is. We need more funding for research, which is hard to get while marijuana remains illegal. We can put what we know into perspective, though. 16% of people who consume alcohol become alcoholics, and 32% of people who try cigarettes become smokers. We know for sure alcohol affects your brain, destroys your liver and causes cancer, while tobacco clogs your arteries, destroys your lungs and also causes cancer. 3.3 million people die from alcohol abuse each year, while smoking kills more than 6 million people. Nobody is suggesting tobacco and alcohol are harmless just because they're legal. Also, nobody is seriously proposing to prohibit them, even though they are extremely dangerous. Legality is a way to exercise some control over them, especially when it comes to protecting young people. It's often much harder to buy legal drugs for teenagers than to buy illegal ones. Official sellers can get hefty fines and lose their license if they sell to underage kids. Legality creates incentives here that drug dealers can't exploit. So
Okay, such a mind-blowing video, yeah. Now we can see the side effect of marijuana, which is it's in a negative side, saying that marijuana have a bad impact to your health, which is we probably already know. I want to hear voices of one of my friend also. She's a doctor from Kacidan Pasar. Please, Mbak Wulan, can you speak out, give your opinion about the topic for tonight? Mbak Wulan, are you with us?
Hey, Julie.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I changed my voice a little bit because I have a sore throat.
Okay, this is the husband of Mbak Wulan, yeah? Please.
Yes and no.
Okay, Kak, okay, Kak, please, do you want to give any comment?
I actually think that it's a bit risky understanding our society that are actually not ready to to accept the fact that it is legalized in Indonesia. But it's really about the definition of legalization itself. But if the legalization means that most people or Indonesian people could have that in a way that they could get it for like really easy, then that would be a tremendous risk coming up after that legalization. So speaking up from a cultural point of view, I personally think that this is not the right time to legalize this marijuana. And like back again, understanding the way our society think, the way our society interact, even with the marijuana itself, it could bring at the end of the day danger, and it could bring not a positive but instead a negative impact to our society. There would be a lot more people out there when they here in Indonesia, when they know that it is legal, then they're gonna use this as a means to do a lot of negative things, especially in terms of gaining a lot of money, and that's what people have been doing so far. Right? They could earn a lot of money by using marijuana as a certain business around Indonesia, and people could just be paid a lot by having this from one province, transporting marijuana from one province to other province in Indonesia. So in short, I personally do not agree, and because of all those facts I mentioned just now. So Wulan from Kacir dan Pasar, thank you so much, Yuli.
Okay, thank you, the husband of Mbak Wulan. Yeah, thank you for giving
Oh my God.
Thank you for giving a very mindful, like there's a new for us, like the other side of the marijuana use as a recreational or as a medical. Still, Indonesia not ready for that. That's what I got from your opinion. Yeah, so you are mostly in a negative side. Yeah. Any of you wants to speak up? I think we have Anastasia. Do you want to speak about your opinion, please?
Yes.
Okay, please, Anastasia. Okay, I think Anastasia has a connections issue. Yeah. I think we got a newcomers, Monang Parligoman. Hello.
I'm
Are
here.
you
I'm
there?
sorry. I'm just on the way.
Anastasia. Okay, I catch you. Okay.
I'm so sorry. Thank you for the time. Actually, I'm a little bit confused which side of me that I'm gonna choose, because make it legal, make it marijuana be legal or illegal. It's really like, we can. It's really a negative side and positive side. I'm gonna talk about in the negative side. Maybe like all of you say that it's very, very, very have a bad impact to our body if we are not use it for like, it's not for medical purpose. So in Indonesia, marijuana legal or illegal, negative side, like, our society is not ready for make it illegal. You know why? Because like, as we know that we not think straight. Like, our mind is so very subjective of it. Like, we just want to use it for what is it called, like fun, just like for fun, or maybe for, it's
For
just like
recreation.
yeah. And if our people, our younger people, like the boys, they're sometimes, if marijuana is not illegal, they can find the way how to like make it of how to, what is it, kayak gimana mencari cara untuk bersenang-senang, nggak nggak harus menggunakan marijuana, but kayak maybe you can hear like they misuse comics. They're not sick, but they just use it to like, having fun like that. And in the positive side, make it marijuana legal in Indonesia. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know about you guys, but have you ever heard the story about the news about a spouse, which is the wife is sick, and then her husband plant a marijuana in around their home and extract it, and then to help his wife to a little bit getting better. And but it's not illegal in here in Indonesia, so the police just arrest the man, and then the man is in the jail, the husband is in the jail, and for a few days later, and the husband just got heard the news that his wife is already dead. So it's very like tragic, you know. And then yeah, they have two boys. Just like I'm just a little bit confused, which is I wanna be. It's gonna be a positive and negative, like you are shared.
Yeah.
That's it
Okay, so
for
you
my
are
opinion.
in the
Thank you.
middle of it, yeah. So you are in the middle of it, just like Yovida. You have some like negative side. You also have a positive side of it, yeah. But I heard from your opinion is mostly negative, Anastasia.
Yes.
We jump to our last participant, Mr. Monang. Maybe you want to give any opinion? I know you are just join us. We are.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Monang. Yeah. Do you want to give any opinion?
Thank you for the topic. We talk about marijuana, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I'd like to speak up about this topic. I think it's fine to legalize the marijuana here in Indonesia, but only for special purpose only. Just like that expose that Miss Anastasia talking about. We have to think that the medical use is needed for the medical use is very rare. Is a rare thing, but it is needed for the special patients such as like oncologic patient, cancer patient.
Yes, cancer.
So we must not we must. I think the authorities should take the issue very seriously, because it is a medical needs. So when when the patient is like need the medication, the cure from the marijuana, maybe we can make it in the special way, such as like a special edition or in special restricted area, like only in a big hospital or in only in a few cities that the people around there is open-minded, like we say like Bali perhaps, or not Sulawesi. So we can make it legal, but we have to try to look the sociologic issue also.
Yeah.
I think that's the point.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Monang. Thank you for the opinion. I also agree that we need to be having more research and also renew our legacy from our government to make it like a difference between using marijuana as a recreational or medical. Yeah, if we can make the if we can separate it of it, maybe probably Indonesian public can use the marijuana the first for the medical use, and then for recreational maybe still long way to it. Yeah, because as we see on the video, there's a lot of bad impact that can give to us, especially for Indonesia who are less education, as you said. before when we show the marijuana and we feel like will fly to when we consume it, probably we will consume it as lot as possible. That's what Indonesian people probably do. Yeah. Okay. That's quite very blow my mind, and then I'm so excited to hear all of you opinion, all of the profound thought for tonight. Yeah, thank you very much. I think we ran out the time. Yeah, it's already 8:30.
Maybe when it is critically needed, perhaps the form is not only as a cigarette, but can also in a form of cake, perhaps like a brownies.
Yeah, I also read it. Yeah, I also read it as a food. Yeah, as a food.
This can be decreased.
Okay. Yeah, completely true. I also read it. We can also make some food or cake from the marijuana. So it's not only like smoking weed. So we can make it more, apa ya, more
receivable.
More receivable. Yeah. Thank you for the words. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Monang, and thank you also for everyone. We ran out of time, and I wanted to say thank you very much for your tendency, for your opinion. I hope that what we sharing for tonight give another new insight for us, and also acknowledge us to know more about marijuana, if it's more the advantage or disadvantage. I hope you get all of the decisions on your mind. Okay, maybe we give back to the Yovita to close the session. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Such a right. Like, I got so many things, new things from tonight discussion. But first of all, maybe we, like, there are some new people here. Can you introduce yourself? Maybe start from Mr. Monang.
Yeah.
So everyone can know you, please.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, my real akun is Monang Perlinggoman, but my real name is Hardi Hutahayan. I'm from Tasikmalaya branch office.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to the club. And Miss Wulan is from Denpasar, is it?
Her husband, I guess.
No, actually, Miss Wulan still, ngajak anak, and that's why her husband speak up for
Taking
us.
over.
Yeah, actually, they just sent me the pictures, like they still with her babies. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
Thank you for the next topic. Miss Julie can choose one of the members who can.
Okay. Who's the next? Aditya, do you want to be a host?
I'm not ready yet.
Oh, you're
You have 1 week, long time.
You have 1 week to learn. Okay.
Maybe Mr. Zaldi.
Mr. Saldi. Oh, I'm boring with Mr. Saldi. I want someone else.
Termonang. Lempar-lempar.
Anastasia, maybe you want to be a host for next week?
Yeah. Go, Natasha.
Agree, Natasha.
Let's go, Anastasia.
Oh my God.
Okay. Anastasia, prepare yourself.
Indonesia.
Sorry?
Pardon?
Anastasia is from Indonesia.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
Anastasia is from Indonesia. She's
Anastasia.
yeah.
One of the BPJS Kesehatan. Okay. So yeah, we'll end up this meeting tonight. So thank you everyone. See you next week.
Thank you, guys.
Picture time.
Take a picture first. Okay.
Please turn on the camera.
Yeah. Natasha, can you turn on your cameras, and then Mr. Okay.
Oh, there you are.
Miss Nancy.
Here you are, Nancy.
There
Wow.
you are. Don't be rebahan. Please show your face.
I will
Even it's
take the
pretty
picture.
late.
Kaum rebahan.
Okay. First, like this. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Freestyle. Okay. First picture is freestyle, maybe like this or like
Three,
this. Okay, can you count it?
2, 1, captured.
Okay. The next one is English club sign, like this one.
Wait a moment. Wait.
Hormat, gerak.
Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. No, not yet, please.
One more.
Once again. Okay, 3, 2, 1, captured. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Zali. Thank you, everyone. See you next week. Bye-bye. Good evening.
Everyone.
Thank you, Miss Yuli.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
Join us next week, yeah.
Menikmati.
Join us next week.
Please join us next week also, Aldit.
Yes, of course.
Adit,
Thank you.
Kak Kendo, Mr. Monang, Kak Ulan.
Come
Okay.
on, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Okay, let's
You're
close this.
welcome.